Hello, beautiful souls. It's me again. Um, I've been getting some really strong messages again this morning. Um, Now this morning it's been followed with this upward kind of uplifting sensation of, whew, it's time to share again. Um, Still challenges, I'll admit. But what started coming through last night, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about fears, and she just brought my attention to, how often, and I know this, but I also, like everybody else, I'm muddling along day to day, figuring things out and learning new lessons moment by moment, day by day. But I realised last night, sometimes, we get so trapped in an aspect of our past, the little girl or the little boy who was wounded in a moment, and, sometimes we then go through all our lives associating that particular feeling, that frequency of that particular moment with something, on an ongoing basis. For example, reading out loud at school. I know there's an awful lot of light workers being called right now to be your authentic self, to stand in your own power, to speak your own truth. And I know there's so many of you whose hearts are just blooming and opening and blossoming and are willing to give freely of your time and your energy in an effort to also uplift others and those you love around you. However, as aware as we all are, we're really just scratching the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more. And even in our attempts to uplift others, we're forgetting sometimes when we are reading messages, say people doing oracle cards, or we've written something down that's channeled through. But when we deliver the message, when we read it out loud or speak it out loud, often we turn our dials. Remember, we were talking about our feelings? We turn our dials and tune into the frequencies of a past experience where, say, at school, your teacher asked you to read out loud. You didn't like it and you were still learning and you didn't always know your words, and you'd be kicking your feet furiously under the table on your chair, swinging your legs with the anxiety and the nervousness of having to read out loud in front of not just the teacher but the whole class. And I see most of us have forgotten to let that go and leave it in the past. And what is letting go? For years, I've been struggling with, I just want to let go. I want to be who I truly am. I want to be free. I want to just be me. But I've been a trapped little girl who's still frightened of everything and intimidated by everything for so long. And I got frustrated in my efforts to let go because nobody ever explained, how do you let go? And it's back to all these repeated messages that keep coming in and coming in. You let go, not by ignoring your feelings, by fully embracing your feelings, by allowing it in, and then recognize it as, ugh, this doesn't feel very nice, or ugh, this hurts. All of these different memories that we're carrying around, these frequencies we've tuned into, we can let them go simply by choosing to reach for a better feeling, thought, or option in every moment. So if suddenly you think of something like that at school and you're kicking your feet and it didn't feel good, you get to take a deep breath, a conscious breath, and you breathe in your own divinity, your own divine light, that infinite source of beautiful love, frequency, and energy that is constantly available to you in infinite supply. You breathe that in, and as you exhale, you consciously choose to just let go of all of those heavier frequencies that you've been holding on to from past experiences, dragging around like a weight because they feel heavy, they feel icky, they just feel, ugh. You get to choose. Do you want to keep tuning into that? Or do you want to reach for something that feels better? And with practice, that gets easier and easier every day. I know because I've been doing this. And I feel so at peace with myself now. I'm learning to love myself now. And if I'm reading a message, yes, sometimes I stumble. Sometimes my awareness will go to a, oh God, am I doing this? Who am I to do this? So I'll have that little wobble in my frequency because suddenly I took a little dip, turned my dial back into the fear and the anxiety before remembering to bring it back and just trust and breathe and be who I truly am, who every one of us truly is. And we are light beings. We are high vibrational, low frequency light beings. And when we speak and when we connect in this frequency, we don't get misunderstood because it's not particularly about our words. It's about what we feel. And last night in the conversation with a friend, I recognized and became very uncomfortable with the fact that although, I don't always have the right words to articulate the frequencies of the messages that are being channeled in through me, because I grew up in an emotionally stunted and crippled environment. So I don't actually know the appropriate words for certain feelings and sensations in my body. And as a result, when the frequencies are coming in, I tend to make sounds like, of how it actually feels in my body. It's like, or, and I use hand gestures in my facial expressions. And I'm finally understanding, I don't look ridiculous. This is actually communication. This is how other people like me, who may not be able to associate certain words with certain feelings because we've all had different experiences of it. But we know the feeling. We don't need the descriptive word. And it's really made me understand that people like me were necessary. Because there are some people who won't resonate with me. But there's lots of other people like me who grew up in emotionally crippled environments, who don't have the right connections with words and feelings and descriptive words. So there's lots of people who might not hear my words, but they will feel, they will recognize the impulse, the frequency that's coming through me, because my sound, my frequency that's flowing through, you will also identify with, because that's the frequency you can also receive your messages from. And each of us has a unique frequency. Each of us is exquisitely beautiful in our uniqueness. Our souls, yes, we are all connected by the universal law of oneness, but each of us is a various expression of that oneness. And it's important that we just allow ourselves to be who we truly are, because, it feels like home. It's coming home to yourself. It's coming home to who you truly are. It's coming home to love. And see, once you start recognizing this and feeling this within yourself and understanding who you truly are, you learn to love yourself. You start looking in the mirror and seeing the person that your loved ones see, seeing the person that I see, not the person that you've looked and seen looking back at you every day of your life until now. That one we always criticise and have a little chat. No, because you know what? That person doesn't exist anymore. Now, today, you're aware of who you are. You're aware of your own divine light bursting forth from the heart chakra. Something really big is going to happen this weekend. I can feel it. And again, it's Easter. This is Good Friday, and Easter Sunday, Jesus rose from the dead. And yes, I was raised Catholic. I don't go to Mass, but I do have an affinity with the Christ frequency and the Christ vibrations. And again, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Jesus rose again. And my interpretation of these frequencies is the Christ consciousness is alive and well, because what is it? It's the love frequency. Jesus Christ talked about love. When he healed people, he didn't see their illness. He saw their wholeness, their oneness, our interconnectedness. He knew fully, as we accept who we are, we can tune into those frequencies. And as a result, we heal ourselves. We're remembering who we are. And I firmly believe that this is the second coming of the Christ. Not a man in flowing robes with long hair and a beard, but a consciousness, an awareness, an understanding, comprehension that love conquers all. And when we operate in these higher frequencies, in this heart center, in the Christ frequencies, the Christ vibrations, when we are sitting and living in these vibrations, everything goes well. We attract wonderful, good feeling experiences. We attract more people that feel safe and feel like home to be around because our frequencies become more and more harmonious. The more we accept ourselves for who we truly are, the more we learn to love ourselves, the more we shine. And the more we shine, that energy ripples out. That Christ consciousness ripples out. That golden, divine, pure, crystalline light. Those frequencies just ripple out. And they touch off other people's energy fields. Sometimes we don't even have to get people and talk to them and try to make them see things your way. You don't need to. You just need to be you. Authentically, purely, 100% you. And be happy. Because when you're you just reach for happy. And I know there are many light workers who are afraid of their light. Is it possibly maybe afraid you might abuse your power? But you know what? You won't, because when you fully embrace these frequencies, this way of being, because we are human beings, we are being expressions of our souls, who we truly are. This beautiful frequency that flows through each and every one of us in unlimited supply. It will never run out. It will never expire because we are eternal infinite beings. And our soul will shine through. And as our souls are shining, the souls and everyone else, they feel it. And they rise too. Because that is our natural disposition. That is who we are. And we can't abuse it, because we will never do anything harmful to another, because anything that makes us feel ick, if we go to do it, our soul lets us know, there's a better way, there's a better feeling option or perception. And it will feel so off, it feels so insulting to our souls if we even consider doing something, tuning into the lower frequency vibrations. We just won't do it. It'll just be ugh. Because every day we're practicing more of, how do I feel? Do I feel good? Am I feeling uplifted? Or does it feel heavy, burdensome, exhausting, frustrating? They're heavier frequencies. And we get to choose. And that is the art of letting go. And I, Amanda, I choose to release and let go of all of those heavy frequencies. I choose to breathe in my infinite divine light and essence. And as I exhale, any heavier frequencies like fear, shame, blame, embarrassment, hurt, etc., etc., I choose to let them go. I just choose to see them disappearing like leaves in a wind, being blown and dispersed. And again, this is where light conquers dark. It's the light comes in and it disperses the darkness. The heavier frequencies, that denser energy feels burdensome and weighs us down, weighs on our spirits, because our spirits are light. That is who we all naturally are, every single one of us, whether we know it yet or not. Because there's that tickle of awareness. And the more of us that stand in our authenticity, the more of us that just say, this is me. Your approval and acceptance is not needed, because I approve and accept of myself, because I feel the truth of my own divinity. I feel the truth of my ability to feel safe and happy times, no matter my circumstances. We're in a restricted lockdown time, and yet I have never felt so free and at peace and happy. Because you know what? Every day I get up and I look for things to appreciate. And if I have a day where I feel tired and lethargic, I still do. I haven't mastered all of this. I'm just like you, figuring it out day by day. But what I am learning is, if if I have one of those heavier days, I wake up feeling, I don't want to get up, I don't want to get dressed. Instead of going, oh, lazy cow, get up, do something, I just go, oh, running a bit low on energy. Maybe you just need a little rest today. Do you know what? Isn't it lovely to be able to have a pajama day? And I don't have to get up. I don't have to do anything. And it's so lovely that I can just sit here. And then sometimes the sun comes out and my little sun catchers will, you know, bounce a rainbow off the walls or the floor or whatever. And that reminds me, I love rainbows. And I don't have to wait for the storm to come and the rain to come to see the rainbow as the sun shines through. I can bring them inside. I can bring them into my home. It feels so good. It feels so nice. Now I have little crystal sun catchers in my windows, and the sun comes in. And, the synchronicity sometimes happens that just as I'm feeling low and struggling to reach for a better feeling thought, the sun will pop out, even just for a few seconds, and I see rainbows dancing around my sitting room. I just go, the little girl in me goes, oh, I love them. I get such a lovely high vibrational feeling when I see them. And now I embrace that. I'm not ashamed to go, I'm a 47-year-old woman that I love rainbows. I feel like a little girl. The excitement when I see a rainbow is just, it's just so exciting and it feels so good. It's like, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't have that effect on me just so I can behave all grown up and appropriate. No, I'm going to embrace that. It's like, that lit me up. And it's like, oh my God, I love rainbows. And then when I'm in that, all of a sudden I'm feeling better. I go, oh my God, I love my home. I love my little room. I love how rainbows are dancing off my ceilings and walls. And God, I love my life right now. And I love that I can get up and go out for a walk. And I love that I'm surrounded by nature and animals. And, I'm blessed that I live now, recently moved to a rural area. And oh my God, nature. It's so precious and it's so valuable to me. Yes, I might be restricted in my ability to interact with other human beings at the moment. But you know what? There's so many other souls around. There are horses. They're teaching me, just by being with them and spending time around them, just leaning on a gate, literally talking to them, share your day with them, let them know how good it feels to see them and how much you appreciate, and they're starting to teach me their language and paying attention how they interact with each other. And for animals, everything seems to be about body language. It's not about words. And a lot of us nowadays are getting caught up on words. And he said, she said. And they get fixated on that and their version, like their understanding of what that word means to them. Because we've tuned out of our feelings. We don't want to feel because we've been hurt in the past. I want to numb out. But then there's all this misunderstanding happening in the world. Messages are not being received. One person can be speaking from the heart, and but if the person you're speaking to is all trapped in the anxiety frequencies, the fear, the frustration, that heavier stuff, they can't receive it. They can't hear all of this. Because the more you're tuned into those frequencies, the more you're weighed down and the more you're kind of pinched off. The flow is always there, but sometimes it's only coming in a trickle because your attention and your focus is on all the things that feel off, all the things that bother you and frustrate you. It's like, just let them go. You don't have to do that. You get to choose. You get to choose in every moment whether you cling on to that feeling, a frequency, or whether you choose to go, oh, really don't like how that feels. Take a conscious breath and let it go. And then reach for a better feeling thought. And sometimes just taking that breath is the better feeling thought. It is for me now. And like when it rains and the wind blows, I've water gushing in under my front door here. And I could spend all my time focused on that and getting all bothered and upset and going, oh, leak a door, my floor will be ruined. What's that going to do except make me feel like crap for longer? It is what it is. And eventually things will get sorted and I'll find a way, things will open up. It's all going to work out. Because you know what I've learned in life? Everything always does. No matter what hardship or challenge I've faced, things always work out. I'm here today. I'm here to tell a tale. I lived, I survived. Funny that. Everything always works out. And I used to always think about it. Why? Why did these bad things always happen to me? Do you know why? Because I was focused on all these awful things always happening to me. And that's the frequency I was resonating in. So those were the kind of frequencies I was calling to me. And law of attraction always gives us, like with the magnets, it brings us exactly whatever frequency we're emitting. And now I understand that I don't want to emit those frequencies anymore. I choose love. I choose happy. I choose freedom, contentment. I choose peaceful feelings. I choose feeling good. I just choose. I want to be happy. I want to feel nice all the time and focus on things that bother me. Yeah. So, yeah, I still have to deal with them. I can acknowledge them, but with the leaky door, bit of newspaper, push the draft excluder up against it, problem solved. And if they go wet again, I just change them. No big deal. It doesn't have to be. And then, not my monkey, not my circus. What can I do today that feels good? And I'm going and doing that. And every single one of us has this ability within us. And some of us that have done years of work and holistic courses and, I'm doing the work, it's hard. No, it's not hard. That's a frequency we've chosen to tune into. We can tune back out of that. It's not work and it's not hard. It's merely just practicing. And then when we stumble and fall, when we forget and we catch ourselves tuning into the heavier frequencies again, I no longer go, oh, for God's sake, Amanda, you should know better. What are you doing? Look at you. You're so stupid. You're not good enough. Like, you can't even get this right. You know all this and you're still not applying it. Even saying that for demonstration, I can feel myself going, ugh. And it's like, I don't calibrate to that. I no longer receive that frequency. I can be aware of it. Oh, yes, I know how it feels. And it's in that awareness and acknowledgement of it that I get to choose. Oh, I don't like that. No, thank you. I don't receive that frequency anymore because do you know what? I know what feeling good feels like. And I choose to feel good. And it just feels so nice. And I just want to feel that way. So no matter what's happening now, although my attention gets drawn into it sometimes, I'm getting much quicker at catching myself. And instead of berating myself now, I'm like, oh my God, look how quickly I'm figuring this out. Look how much more my life is improving because I'm recognizing that the more time I spend feeling good, the more wonderful and amazing experiences come my way. The other evening, something made me just go outside in the dark. And again, I don't know why. Other people might think it's crazy, but you know what? It felt like a better feeling thing to do in the moment. So I did. And I stood outside in the dark. And where I'm living now, it's like I realised my home is my home. But once I step outside, it's the wilderness. And I know Ireland, we don't have any, big predators and animals to be afraid of. But we do have that primal instinct sometimes, that darkness can be a little bit, because we can't really see what's there. But I went out the other night, and for the first time ever, I actually heard an owl. Didn't realise it was an owl at first, but I heard this beautiful bird song. It's like, oh, bird singing, the pitch dark. And then it hit me, oh my God, it's an owl. Not exactly like they sound in the movies, but similar enough that I made the connection and I could feel the frequency. And I was like, oh my God, I'm hearing an owl for the first time. And then suddenly there's another owl. I was hearing mating call. And as one was calling out, another was responding. And again, in that moment, it's like, oh my God, it just feels so good to be alive. And it's like, I really appreciate where I live right now. And it's like, that was just such a wonderful moment. And it just felt so nice. And then I heard like a little scurrying sound on the stones. And of course, initially, at first, my dial went to fear. Is it a rat? Is it something? And then it's like, stop, Amanda. Remember, you get to choose. You know what? So what? Even if it's a rat, you keep your frequency flying high. And not that there's actually anything wrong with rats. I just haven't dealt with that issue. They still give me a bit of a. But I'm learning to respect them. And if I keep my frequency high, I can trust they're never going to come too close for comfort. And at a distance, they're perfectly comfortable. So it's like in that moment I recognise, I don't want to focus on, I don't like rats coming close to me. doesn't matter if they're here or not, they're going to keep their distance because all is well. Because all is well. Because as long as I keep myself in this frequency, everything I desire is going to come my way. It's only when we tune into what feels ick, we call to us that icky experience. And wow, this is working for me. I've just got this prompt to come and share this with you today. I've also been asked to shuffle a couple of cards. So I'm trusting because it seems to be the way that, the validation of what's coming through. Although I know now and I accept and trust that I am channeling, even myself, for my ego part, that inner child, that personality part that's going, do you hear yourself? Look at you, crazy woman. So the cards then just give me that little validation of, you know what? Yes, you're okay. And you are receiving these messages. And just keep being you. Keep choosing to be happy, no matter what's going on around you. No matter how many other people try to convince you should be miserable and you should be frightened and anxious and frustrated right now. Because you know what? You don't have to be. You get to choose how you feel in every moment. And that's what I'm choosing to do. So, and I think this is going to bring back to what I started the message with, that sense of, nervousness when reading a message. And you see, if we can let go of that frightened, anxious little boy or girl within who didn't like reading in front of the class, we can embrace who we truly are right now as divine, loving, high vibrational beings who radiate love because love is us. That is who and what we are. We are the Christ-like vibration. We are the high, wonderful frequencies that we like to experience. That is our natural disposition. That is who we truly are. And I'm going to do my best to deliver that message in this frequency. And I trust that this message will be received. Because if I was to read this message through the frequency of anxiety and fear, it won't be received in the frequency in which it was intended. Oh, there's one card flying off. What have we got? Soul family. I love it. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And yes, we might feel alone right now in isolation, in lockdown, but we're not alone. All around the world right now, more and more people are tuning into themselves. They're asking themselves what they want, what makes them happy, what feels good to them. There are so many people recognizing this. We are all family. We are all connected, that universal law of oneness. We are so family. We are tribe. And it's not about gender, skin color, nationalities, different religious beliefs. No, we're all one. We're all one. None of the external stuff matters. It's inside. It's the frequency we choose to be. And I'm not well educated in all the religious teachings, but the snippets that I have encountered, they all have a very similar frequency. It's only sometimes mankind who are reading the messages. They're doing it in the frequency of the mindset they're in. And then the messages aren't being understood. But from my perception of things and my understanding of things, all of the religious texts and all of the religions, they have beautiful teachings. They have beautiful frequencies within them if we are willing to receive them in that beautiful frequency of love and high vibrational frequency. So we'll go for the deeper message. Soul family. And this card is from the Work Your Light Oracle Cards Guidebook. So, Soul Family, page 80. And again, I was one of those children, I would kick my feet furiously under the table. There was a few times I even snarled at a couple of teachers and said, "Why are you always picking on me? I don't want to read out loud." This is very challenging. But do you know what? As a friend reminded me last night on the phone, thank you, Carmen. I'm not that little girl anymore. Yes, that experience is with me. Yes, that little girl will always be with me and I'll always love her. And she behaved how she behaved in survival mode just to get through the day. But she has learned over the years. She has become this woman that you see right here, right now. She's older. She's wiser. She's learning from her mistakes. Because you know what? Sometimes our mistakes are our greatest teachers. Anyway, back to the meaning of the card. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. We are never alone. We are all connected. We are all here for each other to encourage, uplift, and support each other on each individual journey. It is time to call in your soul family and support team. People who get you at a soul level. People who are the same kind of weird as you. People who are your chosen family. They are coming and they are looking for you. Getting goosebumps here. If you haven't found them yet, this is a sign that they are close by. But in order for them to find you and recognize you when they do, it is important that you stop dimming your light and truly let yourself be seen. Stop tuning into the heavier frequencies of fear. In every moment, if something feels off, just breathe. You always get to choose. Do I want to feel this icky feeling and frequency? No, thank you. Surrender and let that go. And I reach for feeling good. Because feeling good, feeling low, feeling happy, oh, it's just so nice. If you have already found your soul tribe, then you are being called to let them support you and perhaps also assemble a wider support team. Your support team can consist of all types of people, such as a therapist, a coach, a mentor, or a healer. Tune in to what kind of support you need now, because that will come. And work your light action. Call in your support team now. And remember to call in, it's not just about using positive words, positive mantras. You have to feel it. And in order to call that in, you have to choose to feel good. So keep reaching, looking, looking for things to appreciate, looking for all the good feeling things that are here in your life, because they are there. You will find whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for problems, if you're looking for things to complain about, things to be upset about, things to be frustrated about, oh, you will find them, because we call to us whatever frequency we're emitting. So start reaching for the higher frequency options. Start reaching for the feel good things. Start looking for things to appreciate in your life. Trust yourself, because as long as you're feeling good, as long as you're reaching, continuing to appreciate and look for all the good in your life, you're going to see more and more of it. And as a result, you're reaching other people. Other people see the change in you. Other people want to know, hang on, I remember how it used to be. How has your life changed so much? How do you look so happy right now? How do you seem so calm and at peace even though the world is in chaos? And my answer now is because I choose to be. And by being me, I'm attracting all other people who are ready. All other people, all I'm doing is mirroring yourself back to you. This is all available to you. This is all within you. Just go forth and be you. Shine like the radiant souls that each and every one of you are. And when you're delivering your messages, don't be fearful of being judged, because you won't be. Keep yourself in the frequency of who you truly are. And you know what? Then your messages are received, clearly understood, because they can't be anything but. It's only when we're anxious and tuning into the fact that we're nervous delivering these messages but we're afraid our friends and family mightn't want to be around us anymore because we're so different. But that won't happen. We might drift away for a little while, but more and more high vibrational people and relationships come into your life because more and more of us are recognizing each other. And we recognize the light in each other. And that's beautiful. Don't worry about the ones that might be triggered by you right now. Because there's nothing worse than seeing somebody blissfully happy when you're in pain and angry. But eventually, they'll ask, maybe not you, but somebody else like you, somebody who's being their true selves. How are you making that work for you? I'm miserable over here. What are you doing that's different to me? And eventually, that message will continue being repeated. You get to choose. You get to choose where you pour all of your energy and your focus and your attention. You get to choose in every moment. And it's like, come on over. Over here, we're choosing to reach for the good feeling things. The door is open. It will never be closed to you. And you are welcome to come over and join me in these frequencies anytime you choose. But as much as I love you, I'm not going over to tune into those frequencies that you're determined to cling to because they really make me feel awful. But I still love you and I don't judge you, and that's perfectly okay because when you are ready, you will say and you will choose, like I did, I've had enough of that. I've had enough heavy, icky feeling experiences in my life up until now. I've just been existing. Now I choose to live. And again, I'm getting a flash of the Christ energy. And again, it's like rising again. Allow yourself to rise. Allow your own Christ frequency. Allow your own love frequency. Allow your own heart chakra to open up, to bloom like a rose, to burst forth. Because when you feel, your feelings, they really are your superpower. Like in the last video, once you start to understand that, then, the heavy stuff can hit you, but it can flow through you and straight out of you, immediately being replaced with your true divine essence, with wonderful high vibrational experiences. Because you get to choose not to cling on to things anymore. You just allow them to pass through, you see them, you acknowledge them. You know they don't serve your highest good. They really don't. So you choose to just let them carry on, disappearing like leaves in the wind, dispersing like smoke. Whatever imagery works for you. I was about to say, on that note, I'm going to leave, but they're asking me to bring up the subject of meditation. So, for those of you who struggle with meditation and say, I can't meditate, I can't quiet my mind, you don't have to. You don't have to sit cross legged going on to meditation music. You can turn on your favourite song. We all have one. Whatever song that makes you smile on the inside, whatever song that feels good. It's that simple. And you put on that song, you close your eyes, you take 3 conscious deep breaths. Breathing in your own divinity and exhaling and letting go and releasing all of those heavier frequencies that do not serve your highest good. All those frequencies that weigh you down so you can blow away as you feel. Don't just listen to the music. Feel your favorite song. Feel the frequency of the music flowing through your body. Really tune into it and how good it feels when you hear that song. And how good it feels to feel good. And as you continue to take your conscious breaths, breathe in more of that good feeling energy. And as you acknowledge and recognize things that feel ick, just choose to let them go and see them dispersing like smoke or leaves in the wind. And trust that you're constantly being replenished in your own divine frequency. It is eternal. Your cup can permanently overflow constantly. You can give freely, always. Because, when you're connected to who you truly are, nothing and nobody can drain your energy. Because you always choose what feels best for you. Try this. It really does work. And by the time your favourite song is finished and you're feeling good and your body's just moving and oh, I love this song, just put all your focus on how good it feels and how much you love that song. Suddenly you start getting other songs you remember that you love, and you might start playing that with music. And what started out as just a few minutes of, I'm going to do this for me, you decide, do you know what, I don't want to watch the soap operas tonight because, why do I want to watch all that drama and stress and anxiety when I just remembered all these other songs that I love and that make me feel good? I think I'm just going to play them instead. And you spend your time in that frequency of feeling good. And again, I'm not telling you this is what you must do. I'm just suggesting try this and then use that like a little tool or a template for going on out and tuning into all the other things that give you that feel good feeling. Because do you know what? Once you start doing it, it's not work, it's not hard, it just takes practice and it gets easier, and then it starts getting exciting because as you see your life changing and evolving and unfolding and all these good feeling frequencies and experiences coming towards you, it gets more and more exciting. And it's like, oh my God, this stuff is very real. This is who we truly are. And this is not just here available for me, Amanda. This is available for every single one of us. And on that note, I'm going to do well for now. And thank you once again for your time and for listening. I love you all.